Hello, my name is Alex Kleyff from AKA Computer Consulting, and today we're going to be presenting a product called ShipIt for xTuple, which is a shipping solution for UPS, FedEx, and USPS, completely integrated into the xTuple system and Postbooks as well. AKA Computer Consulting has been providing shipping solutions to ERP systems since 1998. ShipIt uses a third-party engine from ShipRush, which are the creators of QuickBooks Shipping Manager. So every copy of QuickBooks that ships out that has the Shipping Manager capabilities uses the same engine as we use, which makes it a very robust and reliable platform. It is fully integrated to xTuple via scripting. No core is modified, which it makes it very easy for users to go from one version to another. It does require a Microsoft XP or higher PC to run the shipping workstation. No Mac version is available for that engine. However, it doesn't mean that you cannot process some of the shipments and then finalize them on a Windows computer. It is available for all versions of xTuple, including Postbooks. And now we're going to go and do a demo. Okay, so there are two components to the ShipIt program. One of them is the Shipment Manager, which is an executable that runs when you start the computer. This is the engine that communicates all the data, it processes and communicates all the data between xTuple and ShipRush, which is the shipping engine that we use. This component is an essential part of the system, and when you get it the first time, you basically go into the setup and you specify the database that you want to connect to, the username, the password, the port, and the server for your Postgres database. Okay, once you have that set up, you click on Save. It also here, it allows you on the About screen, it will tell you what version of ShipIt you are running, and the edition, whether it's Lite or Pro, and the expiration date of your subscription. Here you can find contact information for us, for technical support as well. Basically, once you get that set up, you click on Start, and the engine is running on the background at this point. There's no need for you to call it anymore. It's pretty transparent. Then I'm going to go to xTuple. xTuple, I'm here for the demo. I'm running 3.8.3, and we support from this version all the way up to the latest version. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show, we add obviously some, when you install the package in xTuple, we add a few new options on the menus. And if you go into Inventory under Shipping, and there's a new one called ShipIt Workbench. This is basically just like the customer workbench and all the other workbenches in xTuple. Of course, this has different functionality. Here I'm going to click on a new package, and I'm going to ship a miscellaneous. Miscellaneous means that if you add any contacts to your CRM under contacts, that database becomes available here. So this is what you typically do if you're shipping like your CPA or anybody in the family, or any miscellaneous shipments that you need to do that are not related to customers or vendors in xTuple. And it looks just like every other lookup. So here I'm going to pull up Alex Kleyff, that's me, and automatically validates the information from the contact data. If you notice here, the reference, you can override it, so you can say samples, and that would print on the label as well, on the UPS label. Okay, so reference 1 and reference 2 go into the UPS or FedEx labels. The next thing I want to do here, I'm going to, on the contents, I'm going to basically leave it blank because I don't need to specify contents. I'm not sending an order or an invoice. And under bill freight to notification, here's where you specify if you want to bill the account for the recipient or third party. If you do, you can check that, enter the account number, and it will bill them. Also, if it is a residential shipment, you can check that, and email notification. So we can say sales at akaconsulting.com. You can specify as many as 3, I believe. Test at akaconsulting.com, and it will send a notification, quantum view notification to those emails that are here. The next thing I want to select is how I want to ship this package. So in this case, I'm going to do a UPS ground shipment, and all I have to do at this point is click on the ShipIt button, and the final screen comes up with all the information that I just entered. Here, if I have an electronic scale, there would be a button here that allows you to read the weight from an electronic scale. In this case, I'm just going to type the weight by hand. I can type the declared value if it's over $100, so that way it gets insured. Who is paying for the insurance? Flexible, it gives you that kind of information here. As you can see, you have 4 options. Again, in this screen you can define, it's just like the UPS World Ship screen basically, where you can specify your dimensional weights, delivering confirmation, information if you want to use those services that are paid, there are additional charge for those, and COD. Okay, now keep in mind this is just a miscellaneous shipping, so we don't have contents of boxes or anything here because it's just I can actually add more packages. If I'm sending more than 1 box, I just can click on the plus sign here and it adds another package, so I can say that's 2 pounds and the declared value for this one is $200, and you can see now I have 2 different packages. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I click on the ship icon, and at this point it will print my labels. I believe I have it to print right now. It's printing into my printer here locally, but you can send it to a PDF as well, or to one of those Eltron printers. Once that's completed, it comes back here and it shows me the shipment that I just did. Green means that it was already shipped. If I double click on that shipment and I go into contents, now we can see that we have the 2 packages that I processed, the total weight, the total price for the shipment, and the tracking number. If I track here, if I right click on here, I can actually go and track the package in UPS website. In this case, of course, it doesn't, the package has not been picked up, so UPS is not going to recognize that tracking number, but that's, it brought in the tracking number and track my package right from there. We have this functionality in a lot of screens. I will demonstrate a little later how that works, but it's pretty cool. And that's it pretty much. The shipment is done. I can close this, and the miscellaneous shipment is completed. So I'm going to show now how we are going to process a sales order. So I already previously entered an order in the system, and I'm going to go to issue to shipping, which is what you normally would do. I'm going to pull up an order here. This is the order that I entered previously, and it shows you that it has 2 items. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight basically issue stock for this item. Yeah, I'm shipping it complete. Pull it up from here, distribute, post. Then I'm going to do the next item, issue it, and I'm going to go ahead and click on ship. So it just confirms the information here. You can check if you want to create the invoice and print it after you save, or if you want to just select for billing. I'm going to go ahead and leave it the way it is. Also, if you notice down here, we're saying that we're shipping this package UPS ground because that's what it was on the customer. And also we have this new feature, which is launch shipping interface. Now, I do want to mention something. If you have the light version of ShipIt, this option will not be available. This is only available on the Pro. So if you have the light version, you would only be able to ship from the previous screen that I have demonstrated, which is the ShipIt Workbench. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on ship here. It automatically brings this screen, which is shipment screen from ShipIt. And if you notice, it already pre-filled the information. Reference 1, reference 2, we put in the customer ID and the order number. I'm going to show you where those defaults come from when we do the setup. It already put in that is a UPS ground. And now all I have to do is I'm going to go and define contents, because now I have items that I need to disperse into different boxes. Now keep in mind, also this version for contents is only available on the Pro, not on the Lite version. I'm going to go ahead and select. I'm going to add a box. Here's a list of my inventory of box sizes that I have. So I'm going to put this on box number 10, which the dimensional width is 10 by 20 by 30, right? So I double click on that, and it automatically gives me the items available to put in that box. So I'm going to say I'm going to add all these pieces of this item into that box. And then I'm going to add another box, select a different size, and I'm going to take these items and add all pieces to that one. I'm done defining items here into the boxes. You notice it automatically created the boxes for me. It calculated the weight of the box, and I'm going to show you where that is done. Again, please keep in mind this is only available on the Pro version, not on the Lite version. Bill freight to notification. If you notice here, it brought in that is a third-party billing and the account number. This came from the customer setup screen, where we have a new option to allow you to put this information. In this case, I'm just going to say bill sender, which is me. It's automatically set up as residential, and here is the email address that is going to notify. So all I have to do here is click on ShipIt, and it brings information to the ShipRush screen where I already have the 2 boxes added. Okay, you can see that it already calculated the weights for me and everything else, which is pretty cool. And basically, at this point, we are going to click on ship. It's going to print the label, of course, in my local printer here. Sorry for the noise. It's going to go off a little bit. Here it's just telling me if I want to post the invoices after printing. I'm going to cancel printing. And basically that's it. I'm ready for the next shipment. So this is how you ship from sales orders. Okay. So now if I go in and bring my workbench, which I had minimized, we're going to see here that I have, this is the last order that I just shipped, how it shipped, and I can double click here and view the contents of that box. Again, you have your tracking information. If you go into define boxes, it shows you what shipped on each box. Okay. So that's how you do that. Now the next thing that I want to show is we also support shipping from accounts receivables create invoice screen. Okay, so I'm going to go here, accounting, accounts receivables, invoice. I'm going to select new, and I'm going to do a Tremendous Toys order. I want to ship it UPS ground. Just for kicks, let me go and change it to FedEx. So I'm going to say send it FedEx ground, and I'm going to, you notice down here, again, you have the launch shipping interface. So as soon as I save this invoice, it will launch the shipping interface for me automatically. Okay. Line items, I'm going to create a new item, and I'm going to say add yellow truck and 2 pieces, save it, and I'm going to go ahead and click on save here. It automatically brought me the shipping screen. Where can I go and say specify, define boxes. I'll go to add my box. It's going to fit on this box. Add all items to that box, close, and change that notification thingy because it's not a valid account. We do trap for invalid accounts as well, so that's why I'm unchecking that right now, because I want to make sure we don't get any errors. If we do get an error, it will tell you what the error was so you can verify it. So I know that that's not a valid account, so I'm just changing it to sender at this point. I'm going to click on ship, and it automatically brought me the screen with the information. This is FedEx. You notice it's very similar screen, but this is purple. It matches the FedEx colors. You can specify your declared value if you want to. And basically that's all you need to do. At this point, I click on ship, and it will go ahead and process my shipment. It'll print my label. Now, since this is the first time I'm shipping with FedEx today, it's a little lag, but that's it. It went ahead and printed my label, so you can see that it printed. This one I have set up properly actually for my PDF printer, so you can see the sample label that came out of there. This is set up for a full 8.5 by 11 page, but you can again use your Eltron printer to print these labels. Okay, I'm going to click on close, and that's it. Pretty much, I'm done with that. So now we process from an invoice as well. So another thing I want to show you is once you are on an invoice, I'm going to show a list here of unposted invoices, and then we're going to do, let's pick, I think it's the last one we just did. Double click on that. If you can see in Shipments, so this is the invoice screen. If you go into Shipments, you can see that it's going to show you the information from ShipIt, and it has the tracking number. So you can actually right-click on there. You can either view the shipment details to see what went into each package, or you can just track right from here your package from FedEx. Of course, it's telling you that that's not found as well, but pretty neat feature there that it's available in the system. Then the next thing I want to show is how you, from CRM and your customer workbench, you can actually track all the different things, all the different packages right from there. So if your customer service people are talking to a customer and they need to give them information about their shipments, they can just do it right through the workbench. Here we're going to go into sales orders, right? And then I'm going to show everything. Close and open. And I am going, this is the one that we just did previously. So if you right click on there and you click on shipments and query that, you will see that we have a shipment here. You can expand it. That's the 2 items that we shipped previously. If you right click here, you can actually view the shipments from here, and then you can actually track the packages right from this screen. So you can see that you have full traceability on any of the screens of xTuple. Okay, so that would be from the sales order, right? Also, this is available, so if you go into accounting, for example, the one we did with the invoice, and we go to our invoice that we created today, I believe it was this one, and I right click on that, I can basically, I can do 2 things. I can edit the invoice, go to shipments, and I can try my packages right through there. Same thing basically. So you have 2 places I just show you where you can track packages, right? Again, you have full tracking control of everything. And then of course you can email those to your client as well, those reports. Another place where we have this information available is if you go to inventory under shipping, and then you go to reports, shipments, any of these 3 reports will allow you to track packages through them. So if I want to see all my shipments by date, and I specify from the 27th through today, and I query this, there's my my order that I just did. I right click and I can view the ShipIt shipments right from there. Going to contents, I can see, again, track my package right through here. I can copy to clipboard. I can also look at defined boxes and see what was on each package right through there. So all this happened through the report, if you notice. Pretty nice feature there. Okay. So I show you all the functionality. So now where does everything get set up? So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to take you through system setup. And when you get your system, the first thing you do is you go to the setup screen, then you go to inventory. And if you notice, we added 2 different options here, ShipIt boxes and ShipIt preferences. The preference is the first screen that you should do. Here's where you put your minimum declared value for insurance purposes anything, so if you put $150, anything under $150 will not be sent to the application or to UPS. And again, that works in conjunction with bring declared value. If you uncheck that, it will not bring the declared value ever to the ShipIt screen. That means that you probably have your own insurance company that you're using and not the UPS or FedEx. Okay. Typically, the way this works is you put $100 here, which is, I believe, the default from UPS and FedEx. They insure any boxes for $100. So you don't want to bring any values under $100 because it's automatically included anyway. Weight packages, that means this is only going to work if you have the Pro version. And if you check that, it will bring in the weight information. Okay. The next portion here is where you, this is how the freight is going to be handled when we complete a shipment. For example, I just did a shipment and from an order, and the order had a $5 value there because somebody estimated $5, so they promised the customer they were going to charge them only $5. If you have this override and replace, so if the shipment was actually $25, it will go and delete the $5 and replace it with a $25. That's what this means. If you check that, it will take the $25 plus the $5 that you had already on the order and add it to $30 and replace it with $30. And the last option, do not override, will actually leave it the way it is, which is $5 only. Most people will go ahead with the first option. Again, you have the same functionality for invoices. Okay, so this is how it's going to behave with your orders and shipments, and this is how it's going to behave with your invoice shipments. Reference 1, reference 2. For miscellaneous shipments, usually probably leave this blank. I just have some information there. When you do a miscellaneous shipment, this is the default information that is going to populate. The sales orders, however, you can specify in reference 1 whether you want to bring the sales order number, customer PO number, and the second reference, again, the same option. So you have the option to select which goes in reference 1 and 2, just to give you a little more flexibility. On the invoice, we give you an extra choice because you have now you have an order, a customer number, an invoice number, or a customer PO. So there's more information on the invoice than it is on the sales order. Same thing goes for the reference number 2. The last two fields, this is your serial number and activation key that we give you when you purchase the application. This will determine whether, of course, you have a valid license and when it does expire. And this works in conjunction with our shipping engine. So when you renew the following year, we will give you a new activation key, and that will reflect the new subscription for that year. Okay. Next, we have the inventory of boxes. This is, remember, when I was going and picking different boxes when I was specifying the packages. Well, this is where that comes from. And here you can add new inventory, basically. If I edit it, you can see that the box number and the description of the box, the width, the length, the height, and the handling package and large. Now, this is only available, again, in the Pro version. If you have the Light version, this will not be available in your setup. Okay. The next thing we can go to is on sales. Under ship vias, this is something that we also modified. So when you go to your ship vias, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the FedEx ground, and I'm going to edit it. If you notice, we added this new field. This new field is the service that ship via in xTuple is going to use to ship the package. This is how we tell ShipIt, okay, I'm sending it via FedEx ground or next day, or this means residential only or USPS. So these are all the services available. You can pick from any one of those. Okay. You got to make sure, it's very important to set up all the possible services that you're going to use to avoid to get errors when you're doing shipments. So if you change it on the ShipRush screen from UPS ground to the residential, and we don't have residential here, the program is not going to like that when you come back. So it's going to basically give you an error. You're going to have to come and add ship via that correspond to that service and then go and reship it again. So to avoid that, make sure you add all the possible services that you're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And that's pretty much here on the setup. This is all we need to do. Click on apply and save. So now I'm going to show the different parts that we modify. So one of the places that we modify is if you go to products, items, and you bring any of the items, we add a new option here which is called dimensions. This is where you're going to put your dimensional weight. Again, this is only available if you purchase the Pro. The Lite version does not have this. Here you would say your dimensions for this item are this and that, and this is a large package and it requires special handling. Those parameters get passed to the shipping software and to UPS automatically. Another thing that we do with these dimensions is that we also, if you order 5 of these items, when you go to ship it, it will automatically detect that these items are have dimensions, and it's going to ask you if you want to create the packages for these items automatically. So if you have 5, it will create 5 packages with those dimensions. That's the only time that the dimensional weight is being used. Okay. The next thing you're going to do here is, of course, this is where we grab the weight, which is, these are standard fields in xTuple. What we do is we take, for example, the product weight and the packaging. This could be, you can estimate what the packaging per item is, and it will be 3.75. So we multiply 3.75 times the quantity of items you ordered, and whatever goes into that box, and that's how we come up with the weight. I'm sorry. So that's where one place we changed. Another place where you have changes that are available is if you go into your accounts and you go, for example, in Tremendous Toys. If you go to, let's see, I'm sorry, I think it's not the right place to do it. This is going to be on, this is not on accounts, this is going to be under, I think it's Customer Workbench. You pull it up here, and then here basically you have freight billing, which is, this is where you actually add your, remember I was showing you that if you want to ship sender or third party and the account number. So there's one for UPS and one for FedEx. So you can have actually different ones. And this is at the account level. So this is the first place. If the system does not find anything on any of the ship to addresses, it will grab it from here. Okay, now keep in mind we also support this information on the ship to. So any of the ship tos, if you go to edit, you will have the freight billing information for each ship to. So you can actually, each ship to can have their own information, which gives you a lot of flexibility. You don't have to memorize this information. Okay, you set it up once and pretty much you forget about it. And that's it pretty much on the setup. Again, this option is only available if you have the Pro version of the system. The Lite version does not have this. Okay. And I think that is pretty much the only thing I want to show is that's as far as the processing shipments. One of the things I want to show this screen a little more. Obviously, you can search for shipments and everything through here. You can add filters, so you can say I want to see only package. I want to see all packages, including the closed ones. So I can do that and click on query. And if you see anything that is blue here, there are packages that were either voided or already closed. Keep in mind, once you close the day on UPS or FedEx, the system does not allow you to change the shipment anymore because it's just by how UPS and FedEx work, basically. No, not a restriction from us. If you want to remove the filters, you just do that, and then you're back into normal. So you can add multiple, so just like every other xTuple screen, you can, every workbench, you can go ahead and add your selections right here. Another thing that we have very powerful here is on any of these shipments, if you right-click on it, you can view the shipment, you can void a shipment if the date has not been closed. you can show the history for UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Again, this will not be related to that item, but that's how you go to it. So if I want to see all the packages that I'm shipping through UPS today, I'll go into that and it will show me all the different information of all the packages, and I can actually print a report right from here. Okay, it's a detailed report of all the shipments. Then you have the option to the same thing, basically, to view history for FedEx, and he's going to show you the FedEx. Again, you can even track packages from here if you want to. You probably won't because you want to find them through the CRM better, I think. But it gives you the flexibility to do that. Then the other thing you can do is the settings. The settings for UPS, FedEx, and USPS, how they get this is the setup of the program, basically. This is where you set up your rates. If you want to do a markup, it can be a fixed markup, dollar amount, or it can be a percentage or a handling fee, minimum shipping charge, so the minimum amount you would charge them. Anything else you would not be charged. And then your surcharges for UPS, which you usually need to be updated every week, I believe. Your label printer, this is where you set up all your, we support, there's a list of supported printers and hardware in the manual and on our website as well. The manifest printer, where it's going to print. So you have full capabilities of specifying where your label printer is coming out from and where your manifest is going to come out from, and if you want to send a manifest, yes or no. Your scale setup, again, you enable it here. There's a lot of different things. Address validation. So this is where you let basically the program on UPS validate the address to see it's going to match, to make sure that if there is a zip code with, that doesn't have the +4, it will automatically calculate the +4 for you. It also will set the residential and non-residential flags, which is not 100% accurate. I've seen situations where UPS's database is not that accurate, but it works pretty good. And then, of course, it allows you to do a strict, where that means that it fails the shipments if the streets are not valid, if the address is not valid. Again, it all depends on your policies for shipment, but that's where you set that up. Then you have your advanced shipments, your system, different settings that you do, just like in WorldShip. Your UPS account, this is where you put your tax ID number. All this information goes in there. You can also specify multiple, if you want to do drop shippings for another company, you can add different profiles, so it would use a different company name. This is useful when you're drop shipping for somebody else, for one of your clients, but you don't want them to see that it was shipped from you, but from your client. That's available there. And of course, we support international shipping in the system. It does electronic invoicing, and we pass all the information to the system when you're shipping, and it allows you to specify the commodities and everything else. That is pretty much on the setup screen. The other thing we have here is processing the end of the day for UPS, FedEx. They all process separately. If you want to view the log for that particular shipment that you're highlighting, it will show you a log of everything that got processed through our engine. So it's a log viewer. Basically, that information is pretty useful if you get an error. And if you have a problem with a shipment that is giving you trouble, you can basically reset all the requests and delete the shipment and start all over again. But that we put there as a utility. You rarely need to use that. And that's pretty much it. Of course, you can preview this screen here, whatever we have selected. We have a little report there that you can preview, and you can send it to the printer. And basically, that would be everything that I need to show you here. So this concludes the demo. If you have any questions, let me go back again to, hold on one second. And okay, so that was the demo, and just a few things that I want to bring up. We have, like I said, two versions. I've been mentioning Lite and Pro throughout the program, throughout the demo. This is a screen basically telling you what the Pro version has versus the Lite. And in a nutshell, just to summarize, basically, the Pro version allows you to do pick and pack carton contents at the level of shipping details, basically. So you can, that was when you specify cartons, and you can know which items are in which pack, in which box. It also allows you to ship from shipments or sales orders, and it allows you to ship from create invoice. So those are the major differences between one and the other. We are going to add a pick and pack interface later on, so that's going to be supported only on the Pro version. If you buy the Lite version and you want to upgrade to the Pro version, you just pay the difference and you can upgrade at any time. So if you're not sure, you can always start with the Lite and then upgrade to the Pro version at a later time. Okay. And pricing and availability, the product is available immediately. You can visit our website at www.akaconsulting.com. The URL is listed here on the screen. And over there you can see all the price list information and everything else. Also, this is available through the xTuple Exchange website as well. So please feel free to give us a call, send us an email if you have any questions. We're more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you and have a great day.